I want to move to your relationship or the officer's relationship with the president. There's a recent, obviously, case that is in the courts now. The president is trying to interdict the enforcement of the remedial action on Pravin Gordhan vis-a-vis the Ivan Pillay matter. I think a lot of people agree that it doesn't look good to have such an important constitutional body face off with the office of the president, or even the office of the president face off in court with such an important constitutional body. Was it difficult for it to get to where it is right now for you?
Difficult how?
Because these are two important bodies.
Constitutional institutions.
Yeah,
I mean, the president is a constitutional being.
Yeah.
I'm a constitutional institution.
And I suppose you don't expect that from a president. And I know what you've, through the court application and the affidavits, what the views have been about why he failed to implement the remedial action on Pravin Gordhan on the Ivan Pillay matter. What I'm asking is, did it shock you, or was it difficult from your part as the public protector to get to a point where you have to say to the president that, to me, it appears like you don't want to uphold your constitutional duties by acting on this person?
I think there were letters which were shown in court, which anyway, they were shown during the rogue unit. I think what Advocate Dalimpofu was mentioning, it's exactly what happened. They were not even supposed to be discussed because even Judge Potterell depended on them, which they were not for the rogue unit, but with. When I was engaging the president, it was purely advising and even showing the president that there's a Supreme Court, the Constitutional Court judgment.
Yeah.
Remedial actions are binding until set aside by court. Therefore, you have this matter, you need to submit the plan. But it's difficult because I won't refuse to be accessible. I receive a lot of letters, calls, and requests that, okay, the plan, because a plan which I need, it's like your action plan, project plan. I will call a meeting with this person on this day, and by this date. I will write or request the reasons or whatever by this date. Ne? I will do the following. Normally, where we are saying discipline, we just say discipline, we can't be prescriptive. How? The evidence is there for you. You understand? Then it doesn't mean that in your plan you should include investigation, because already there's investigation which we've done. But then yours is possibly then I will appoint a panel, for instance, to look into this matter. Or I'm intending to write a letter by this particular date and stuff like that.
And his response was that he will wait for the review application.
Yes. So I think what needs to be very clear is that even, there is no, it's not, we are not fighting. It's exchanging letters, and which was not necessary also to go to court.
So why was it difficult then not to sit down and resolve it, even amongst the legal teams, and say it's not necessary that it goes to court?
Well, I think when you write letters, it helps to, the letters are for the very same reason. Where I write a letter, you respond, I respond and say, no, but it's still not the case, because this is not a plan. You can't say it's a plan, you know, and if then you decide to go to court, it's a challenge, because you are within your right to do that, Clement, I think. But in most cases, when a meeting is requested, I would be available to meet. It's just that sometimes it's difficult to deal with certain issues. I wouldn't dictate to the president how he should be running this country or his office. And I think that's a challenge sometimes, because we do have our officials who prepare all these things for us. Sometimes we sign, maybe because we are busy, and send things, you know. And sometimes we should also just sit back and say, but no, man, Public Protector, can you Chief of Staff, arrange a meeting with this person. Let's sit. I'm always available. I don't. I mean, like how he did when there was that complaint by DA, which I appreciated that he was upfront and requested a meeting, because normally it was not necessary. He was just supposed to respond in writing and say, this is what I know. But he requested a meeting, which is good. I think that's how we can run this country, instead of just being litigious, you know.
Yeah. Just lastly, on the relationship with the president, some people have gone to an extent, I mean, his detractors, of trying to link him to former President Jacob Zuma, to say the Constitutional Court had found that the head of state, as the head of the state, it's your constitutional duty to respect and support the office of the Public Protector. And the Constitutional Court has said the former president had failed to do that. And some people say in his actions right now, he's failing to respect and support the office of the Public Protector. I mean, even your legal teams in court have argued that why is he going there to support Minister Pravin Gordhan as he faces off in court with you? How do you view that? What is your view on that?
We are a constitutional state. Then he's the constitutional being. And the Constitutional Court indicated and interpreted the provisions of the Constitution. And the Constitution is very clear. Section 181(3) of the Constitution about the Chapter 9 institutions, that the state organs or anyone must not interfere with the functioning of the Chapter 9 institutions, and that they must support the Chapter 9 institutions. So we take it from there. It's not an issue of distractors or whatever. We are here as Chapter 9 institutions to strengthen constitutional democracy, to make sure that the rule of law is respected. So as a public protector also, and other ombudsman now around the world or the country, the world or Africa, in the AU 2063 agenda 2063, it's very clear we are also there to help states to have clean governance. You know, it goes a long way, because if you have clean governance, you can run your finances, your resources will be there to empower your people and whatever. So when it comes to the issue of the president, surely as the constitutional being, having taken an oath of office, even the executive, to respect and to abide by and uphold the Constitution. So you'll expect that level of respecting that oath of office. I think we need to take stock of this. I don't think we need to be, you know, moving at such speed and as such, with this pace we are moving in. We're going to be facing a very serious constitutional crisis. And I've indicated in the letters as well that no, we cannot pick and choose how we apply the law, because that's an issue. Again, I'm repeating, when we adjudicate cases, when we issue judgments, even the public protector, I wouldn't be issuing reports just because I want to deal with the person. I issue all the reports based on the legal prescripts which are there, which needs to be complied with. A lot of our reports, if you can just read them, when there's a complaint about irregular appointment, we check, okay, this person applied, doesn't meet the requirements, the job profile says must have a degree, but this person doesn't have a degree, was shortlisted, or even their policies are saying these are the requirements. What is the law saying? That's purely what we're dealing with. Now you have the challenges of you creating something which is very worrisome, because if then you have another minister or another director general who will then waste state resources, loot billions and billions, ne? And then the public protector, we uncover, we have the evidence, we issue a report and we say, President, deal with this, or Premier, deal with this person. The person then takes us to court and writes, the affidavit is very insulting and whatever. I won't be doing that. Taking the public protector interdict implementation and nothing is happening. What are we creating? I think let's just reflect on that as a country. And I think that's all what we are expecting to happen.
And that is why I ask you about that, public protector, because as you say, we're creating something that is big, and South Africans that are watching this face-off are sitting and they are concerned, because here's a president who says, this constitutional body that is the public protector, which is supposed to defend, which is supposed to uphold the constitution, and you're saying the person holding that office doesn't grasp their constitutional duties. And you've got this office then say, you are failing to uphold the constitution. As South Africans, what do you say to them? How are they supposed to read that? Because I hear what you say when you say we're creating a crisis here and something that can be avoided. But what are they supposed to read from that? And that's why I reference the Constitutional Court. That what is your view? Do you think he is respecting the Constitution? Do you think he's supporting your office?
I wouldn't want to. That you can ask him. I think he'll answer that question. But again, South Africans, if a person is taking another one to court, we're still a very young democracy. And courts are there to interpret, and also they help in the development of the law. So if we are in court, let's just focus on the facts and the law. Let's not go further and deal with the integrity of a person. You know, because I wouldn't say to a minister, you know, I've issued that report, the Pillay matter, or any report I'm issuing. I wouldn't call a person a corrupt defender of state capture. You are perpetuating corruption. And I wouldn't use that in my report. I wouldn't use that in my papers to court. I wouldn't even say to a person, you are a constitutional delinquent. You understand? As a constitutional being, now you are becoming a constitutional delinquent. I wouldn't do that. So what I would say from my side, somebody was telling me yesterday that you are too diplomatic. But I think that's what we need to preserve as a country. We need to make sure that we operate within the Constitution and the rule of law. Let's not deal with the person. I'm still repeating. Let's deal with the facts before us and apply the law. If I'm preparing my affidavit, being the public protector, I will make sure that I put the facts, what transpired, what the law is saying are your responsibilities. So I think from my side, that's all I would say. And to South Africans is, let's also make sure that we understand that when matters are before court, or when a person opposes or takes another one to court, is that process. So it's for the judges also to say, no, you are abusing the court processes. This is frivolous litigation, especially the applicants. Because as an opposer, when you oppose a matter, how are you litigating? How is it a frivolous litigation? You defending yourself, or you saying, no, court, this is my side of the story. So when you decide on both ways.
Yeah. So beyond the reports, you are willing to sit down and say, let's avoid how the perception that this face-off creates. You are willing to do that. Would you start the process to meet with him to say, President, this is not okay. We are attacking each other, or we are seen to be attacking each other in public. We need to preserve.
Yes.
Would you start the process?
Yes, because, well, I have
beyond the reports, because I understand that sometimes
know.
when you issue the section, they are obliged to come, or they can ask to come and get clarity on the report. But I'm asking about the importance of these two officers. Are you willing to go and say, the perception out there is this, and it's not okay? We have a responsibility to restore the confidence in this office.
I think that is very much important to do. There's nothing stopping the Public Protector from doing that.
Will you?
I'll do it, definitely, since we are discussing. But for your information, when the president was appointed, not now, but when he was still the interim president, well, there's several requests which we made as an office, because my office should be interacting a lot with the president. Remember, especially on complaints of Executive Members Ethics Act. So if we sit down and also show him, these are the number of things which your executives should be avoiding, including yourself. When you go to answer, be frank, be upright, because I'm here for that.
Yeah.
We have a number of complaints, service delivery related. We are picking up systemic challenges, which as the Public Protector, a Chapter 9 institution, there to strengthen constitutional democracy. I should be helping the president, the Minister of COGTAB, if there's a lot of complaints in the municipalities which we are picking up and there's a trend. This is what you need to engage with your executives, make
but
sure
now you
that
can't because of this tension.
We agreed that we need to meet, because after we met, the only time we managed to meet was unfortunately not what I was intending, but then for this investigation.
Yeah.
And in that meeting, we agreed that we should be meeting, we shouldn't be postponing. There was a time where I also requested a meeting, though it was related to an investigation, but I was saying that can be resolved because we also have an alternative dispute resolution mandate. And that's what I'm always saying to even MECs and stuff like that. If there's a protest, service delivery protest, they close schools, that community, nothing is stopping the MEC and requesting, the Public Protector to be the mediator. We did in Masiphumelele, where the community was not trusting the city. When we investigated, or when we were involved, we managed to bring the city and the community to find so that's our responsibility.